Pascal. You are now rocking with that dude Pascal. We be going wild, Haitian in the building, so original. Got the haters catching feelings. Get your hands up to the ceiling and keep them held high, cause St. Louis isn't ready. Forget about it, goodbye. Hold on, we just saying hi. Five somebody, rise up weekdays. Catch us live, somebody, let's go.
Good morning. Good afternoon and good evening, everybody. Welcome to the Pascal Show. Woo! Man, there's a lot of catching up I got to do. There's a lot of crime be criming out here in these streets. A lot of news. News be newsing, y'all. But I hope this show finds you in good spirits, because another day above the dirt is always a blessing. Let's not forget that. Another day above the dirt is always a blessing. Let us not forget that. Now, this is a case that I've been wanting to talk to you guys about for a while, but there's just been a lot of things going on. There's a lot of things that are going on in Chicago. There's a lot of things that are going on in Portland. There's a lot of things going on in life. In other words, the news be newsing, life be lifing, and I just get in here while I can, all right, with this information. So I'm squeezing this story in as best and as quickly as I can, all right? So please do me a favor. Hit that like button down below. Crush do what it do. Hit that reaction button if you're watching on other platforms. If you are watching on these other platforms like Facebook, X/Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, Rumble, Twitch, KIRK, make sure you hit that follow button, okay? Follow. Of course, don't forget to subscribe here on my main YouTube channel, Also, go check out my other two YouTube channels, The Pascal Show Clips and Pascal Raw. That'd be greatly appreciated. Make sure you are doing that, all right? We got some things we have got to get into, okay? Hit that notification bell, set it to all, so you know whenever I go live, whenever I upload, all right? Hit that join button down below, become a member, check out my Patreon, and of course, check out PascalMerch.com. PascalMerch.com. We got some really great stuff over there. Okay, guys, we got to get straight into this. Good morning to every single last one of y'all. Like I said, there's a lot of stuff that's going to be flying out the gates here today, because there's a lot of cases that are going on right now. There's a lot of conversations that I haven't gotten a chance to really talk to you guys about that I'm going to try to do some catch up on. And also things that you guys know you may not know about, like this particular case that we're going to talk about. And this is a big deal. And I also really want to emphasize this really quick. Just because this person was a CK fan does not mean that this was the only reason why this particular fan snapped. I want to make that abundantly clear. There's a whole lot more to this story than just him being a CK fan. And you know, I got to use these abbreviations and all that crap because certain platforms don't like when you say a certain person's name. All right. So I gotta use these code words, unfortunately, guys. All right. It's insane, but we gotta talk about it. All right. This is a case that we can't not talk about. But I will say this. It is not the only reason. I'm just repeating this again because I know some people that are going to be clicking on this later, getting offended or getting upset about this and basically saying, well, no, you got it wrong. I'm saying it out loud right now. This is one of the main factors, though. This is something that was like the straw that broke the camel's back type of situation. You see what I'm saying? No. So lovely. It is restricted on certain platforms, not on the tubes, but down here on the TikTok. Yeah, it's restricted. So I can't say his name down here. I can say it all day long up here. All right. But I have the TikTok. What's up, TikTok fam? I got TikTok on right now, so I got to use these code words. Unfortunately, even in the title that you guys see on the live here on TikTok, I had to take out his name. Okay. Sorry, but it is what it is. Okay. Damn, lost my freaking whole platform for even just covering the news about CK. So I got to be careful about these things. I got to be very choosy about what I say. I can say it all day long up here, but I can't say it all day long down here, unfortunately. Okay. So just so you know, I'm consolidating and I'm live streaming on many platforms. Okay, guys? Charlie Kirk. Just so you know. You see the title, somebody said, what name? You see the title? His initials are CK. Okay? It's the only time I'm going to be saying his name, unless I slip up and make a mistake. All right? But outside of that, make sure you're following, please, and thank you. Because, we got some shorts, reels, TikToks coming your way. And there's a lot going on, okay? Pam Bondi is still at a congressional hearing right now. We are going to be covering some of the stuff that she is avoiding to talk about. So that's some stuff that we're going to be talking about here very, very soon. So make sure you got all of that, okay? Make sure you got all the information because I'm coming out the gate after this show. But there's something that's going on right now, all right, that just happened where this particular, let me show you his mother-loving nerves, okay? Because here's the thing. This dude is a piece of trash, okay? Vincent Battiloro, sorry. Vincent Battiloro, okay? That's his name. He is 17 years old. And I know we have covered so many crazy stories on this platform where these people, these monsters are way worse, all right? Way worse and way younger. But it still blows my mind. It still hits the same, y'all. It still hits the mother-loving same. Doesn't change. It's weird, but these monsters, we get older and they get younger. Okay? It's wild. But this guy is 17 years old. And he took the lives of these two girls, Maria and Isabella, okay? Two teens that were just riding an e-bike, having a good time, enjoying their lives being teenagers. He took his car and he mowed them down. Then he went back home, went on to his live streams on the tubes or whatever streaming platform that he was on, just talking to people like everything was normal, like nothing ever changed, nothing changed. But one thing is for sure, this all spawned more than just CK. But it started when he started trying to step to one of these girls a few months before, and he got rejected. And let me tell you something, that it's terrible. You know what I mean? A lot of times especially when you're young and you're trying to step to a girl that you think is cute and you're hoping to get her number, maybe go and take her out. It feels a little bit like when they reject you. Now, I get it. It's a terrible feeling. Okay? It's absolutely terrible. I remember the first time trying to step to a girl and being rejected, and it hurts so bad, right? First time, you know how it is. Fellas, ladies, because some of y'all are some of y'all are independent, and I appreciate that. You know what I mean? Shout out to y'all for being independent, okay? Being strong, beautiful, independent women. And sometimes you like what you like. You want to step to the dude too and be like, "Sup? Do you want my number or not?" Right? That's helpful. I'm gonna be real. The many times when I was a kid that I wish somebody just came up and said, "Hey, you want my number or not?" I'd be, yeah. Because, we're guys. We're dumb. We don't know. We don't know. We dumb. We really, really, really mother-loving dumb. We dumb. Did I say we're dumb? Yes, we're mother-loving dumb, okay? So sometimes that'd be nice. But still, guys still have to go and approach. They still have to, pull up their britches, walk up to a girl and say, "Hi, I think you're cute. Can I take you out?" Right? And a lot of times you get rejected. It is part of the game. Unfortunately, that is what, the game of love is all about, right? It's pretty crappy when you get rejected, especially in the very beginning. When you're young, you're hopeful. The first cut is the deepest, for lack of a better term, okay? But moving on, you eventually move on, right? You eventually realize, okay, there's plenty of fish in the sea, that whole phrase, right? That whole thing. Like, we good. We're going to move on. It is what it is, right? Plenty other people you could talk to, plenty of beautiful women, beautiful girls out there, as a teen. That's just life, right? But this guy didn't take no for an answer. Or actually, he was so offended by this situation that he just started lurking in the background. Lurking, y'all. This piece of trash, Vincent Battiloro, had the audacity to start lurking after the girl that he was trying to get a number from, that he was trying to hit on. And he did this for months. I want to make that abundantly clear. He did that for months, so much that the parents and the family of this girl had to put up a restraining order against this guy. Yeah. Then, because he was still out there lurking in the shadows, creepy stuff, right? But then something happened, and this all has to do with CK. This part is what it has to do with CK. And don't worry, we're going to get into this whole conversation here in just a second. We're going to be looking at video clips. We're going to be looking at articles and all that ish too. But what's very interesting about this situation is that the thing that took him over the edge, the straw that broke the camel's back, was the fact that he was an actual CK fan. And he had a huge problem with her making fun of the demise of CK. This is the thing that took him over the edge. How dare she? How dare they both make fun of CK's demise? Which, by the way, I mean, let me be real. Okay. First off, I don't condone that type of conversation. I don't condone that type of behavior either. Okay. Let's be real. Somebody lost their life. It is a tragedy. It is bad. But that doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if I agree with what he said. Okay. It doesn't matter if I do agree or don't agree with what he had to say. He lost his life. That is a terrible, terrible thing, right? It's a tragedy. It's messed up. It's jacked up. People sitting there saying like, woohoo, he gone kind of thing is really, really messed up. It's wrong. But at the same time, that's their right if they want to say it. Like I said, I don't have to condone it to understand that that's their right if they want to say it. Now, this person heard it. This piece of trash, Vincent, heard this and it triggered him. Yes, Edward, it's free speech. That's their right to say what they want. I don't have to agree with it. It's their right. But this triggered Vincent to the point where he hunted them down and going 70 miles an hour in a 25-mile-an-hour road, ran these girls down and then escaped, then ran off. It was a hit and run situation. And then ran. Went back home and he was live streaming again back on his social medias, talking like nothing even happened. All because these two girls made comments about CK. Like I said, it's not the only thing that made this kid snap. This was a whole domino effect or breadcrumbs, if you will, leading to the moment where the straw that broke the camel's back mentally for this guy, and he did what he did. He was hitting on her. She said no. She rejected his advances. She said, I ain't with it. He's continued to stalk this girl, lurking in the shadows so much that they had to put a restraining order on this dude. And he was doing that for a very long time. And then finally, one moment, after all the advances, after the restraining order and all that stuff, finally he finds something where she is the bad guy in his mind because she had something to say, or they both had something to say about CK's demise. And that took him to a whole nother murderous level. And he did what he did. Like I said, we're going to be talking about this. We got some things we got to get into this. This is absolutely nuck and futz. All right, let's be real. Of course, I'm just giving you a summary of everything that's been going on. We're going to talk about more here in just a minute, but please do me a favor, because I know this is, either some people know about this case. I know it's a few days old because it is something that people have been talking about. A few people I've seen online talking about this, but this is a case that should matter, right? This is a case that we do need to talk about because this is happening a lot more than you think. Or some cases are brewing like this. And I'm not saying because of CK. Let me just say that again. It's not because of CK. I'm saying because people are really having issues with mental health, and these people need to get checked. And I've said this before too. Some of y'all need mother loving therapy, and I'll still stick to that. People need therapy so badly. It's getting insane out here. Okay? It's getting insane out here. Tina, thank you so much for being a member for the past 11 months. I really do appreciate it. John, thank you so much for the super chat. Happy Tuesday to you as well. Again, this could be happening to your family right now. This could be happening to somebody you know right now. Okay? We must protect our children and must protect the people that we love as best as we can. And if you are the parent of one of these kids that's doing these unthinkable, really crazy things, please get them the help that they rightfully deserve. Because you mean to tell me that the parents didn't know that Vincent Battiloro did not have some sort of restraining order? They also said that he had multiple speeding tickets, multiple citations, because he was driving recklessly out here in these streets to begin with. And then he does what he does and tries to act like he has nothing to do with it when it's clearly him. The police are collecting countless ring cameras from around the area, showing this man, this monster, this kid driving through that area and doing what he did to those two girls at 70 miles an hour. This is insane. Let's get into this. All right. Coming out of New Jersey. All right. Suspected New Jersey lurker. All right. Was driving 70 miles per hour when he allegedly took these two girls' lives. So the alleged New Jersey teen, we'll just say that, charged with unaliving two girls, was going 70 miles an hour when he fatally slammed into their e-bike. So Vincent Battiloro, 17 years old, was allegedly flying nearly 3 times faster than the 25 mile per hour speed limit on the residential street when he plowed into Maria Niotis and Isabel Salas around 5:30 p.m. Monday, according to a ticket issued in the aftermath by Cranford Police. So there was already a ticket made about this. Again, this guy might be getting tried as an adult for what he did. I want to point that out too. This guy might be tried as an adult because of what he has done. So Vincent is facing first-degree M charges in the demise and has been accused by family and friends for relentlessly stalking Maria, including sitting in a car outside of her house for months leading up to the crash. Come on, guys. Months, y'all. Months. Okay? Months. So again, crazy. All right? So the 17-year-old is accused, this accused monster, all right, was slapped with 15 traffic summons following Monday evening's tragic scene. So again, like I said, he has been hit with multiple traffic citations because he's recklessly driving out here in these streets. You know what this also makes me think of? Now, this has not, I mean, obviously, they're not the same case, okay? This other guy was not lurking after teen girls and then doing what he did, all right? But there was another kid, if I remember correctly, this very, kid who was like born with a silver spoon in his mouth, right? He I guess he had a really nice supercar, had a really nice car. He had multiple traffic citations for going beyond the speed limit. And then one day, he basically totaled the car, taking the life of other people that were in a car as well. And I don't remember the full breakdown of it, the whole thing, but it was such a huge deal. Okay. It was such a big deal back then. It was like maybe a year or 2 years ago. Okay. But he was driving this fast car. He's totaled cars before. He has totaled cars before because they're going too fast. But this time, he does what he does and then unalives people. And then, of course, the family, the parents were trying to be like, well, he's just innocent. He's young, blah, blah, blah. And it's like, no, he took his supercar, his really nice fast car, which wasn't the first car he's totaled, and then totaled it again, but now taking the lives of people. All right. And of course, people were sitting there going, should the parents be held accountable? Because they're the ones handing the keys to a really, really nice, fast car to a teen who you could sit there and say is young and dumb, but he should also know better because the parents should be instilling some sort of common sense into their child, right? Anybody remember that one? I don't remember the name, okay? But again, it was something really, really crazy. And now we're seeing more and more stories like that, right? We see like, more and more teens driving, really, really fast. And then, of course, taking the lives of people that were in their car, plus other people the car that they ran into and all that. It's absolutely insane. But this kind of makes me think of that too, where you got multiple citations, for traffic violations, for God knows what he was doing, speeding too much or whatever the hell he's doing. And instead of the parents being like, give me the damn keys, you ain't driving this thing. You ain't driving at all. You're going to go get that job. You're going to take that bike and you're going to ride your bicycle. Okay. In French, it would be bicyclette. You're going to ride that bicyclette all the way to the new job. Okay. That's what you're going to do. And you're going to pay off those damn tickets. I'm not paying it. Go ahead and learn you something. All right. Go get you a little job and pay off those tickets. And when those tickets are paid off, then we'll maybe talk about you getting these keys back. But this car's going to sit here in the driveway collecting dust. Yeah. In fact, I'm going to drive it around and enjoy the hell out of your car while you go and ride your bike to work, school, and back. That's what you're going to do. 15 citations, you're out of your freaking mind. So again, I look at this situation and go, you got to be kidding me. Right there is a problem. Right there, I'm going, discipline. Where's the discipline in our kids? Or at least in this kid. Then let's not forget, there's a restraining order here too. Yeah. We're gonna talk about that. Yeah, there's a restraining order here too. So what's up with that? Why? Let's continue. They say a full list of his tickets reported on by the local outlet include a ticket each for failure to possess an insurance card, registration, and driver's license. Say what? Leaving the scene of an accident with injury. Say word. Failure to report an accident. What? Failure to show a license after an accident. Unsafe lane change, improper passing, careless driving, reckless driving, abandoning a motor vehicle, delaying traffic, obstructing passage of other vehicles, improper display of license plates, and speeding, and a partridge in a pear. What the hell? Are you kidding me? Huh? So the Union County Prosecutor's Office has not released the accused driver's name, which we already know his name. Okay? Because the matter is currently in juvenile court, but the slew of tickets reported by New Jersey or NJ.com connected Battiloro to the actual wreckage. The prosecutor's office said in an email Thursday morning that Battiloro was currently in custody and exploring all legal options as the case moves forward. This teen could be tried as an adult because of the severity of this crime, and he should be. He should be. Before he was formally arrested and charged, in a surreal moment, rambled on about the crash on a YouTube live stream. That is usually where he talks baseball and gaming. He expressed condolences toward the two victims, labeled the alleged unaliving, this situation, a tragic accident, complained that he was being bullied over false allegations, all while saying numerous times that he probably should keep quiet. Yeah, I shouldn't say anything, but, may they rest in peace. I have nothing to do with this, but, I probably shouldn't be saying this, but I'm going to say it anyway. So he's also dumb. I mean, he's clearly dumb. You go and you basically mow down two innocent girls in broad daylight. He's also somebody who's been lurking in the shadows after one of the girls. Families of Maria and Isabella accused the driver of plotting an attack against Maria for months and called him a coward of a man. Isabella was remembered this week as an incredible performer who had the voice of an angel, while Maria's family said their girl had dreams of becoming a cosmetologist after high school. So again, guys, this is just insane. Look, you're going to see some stuff here. Y'all about to see some, you ain't going to see it because you can't see it on here, but you guys are going to see he's crazy. He's crazy. You're going to just see how he laughs. Let me put them up so you guys can see their faces. Okay. But you're going to see it ain't right. Okay. And let's not forget, multiple citations. He was lurking for months, so much that they issued a TRO, temporary restraining order, on this guy. He's also a minor. Okay, he's not 18, he is 17 years old. So you mean to tell me that this TRO that was made for him, parents didn't know about that? Where are the parents in this situation? I'm being real. Where are his parents in this situation? And why wasn't there anything done about this situation before this situation turned into what it is now? I'm looking at the parents too, y'all. I'm looking right at the parents. With all due respect, I'm looking straight at the parents. So minor. Restraining orders. Multiple citations, traffic violations that he got. Months leading up to this situation. And yet the parents did nothing about this? Now, I mean, I'm not trying to tell people how to raise their kids or anything like that. Those are your kids, okay? But at the end of the day, no grounding? No type of discipline at all? Here it is, though. If I sat there and said, hey, if it was a situation where 15 citations, that's already enough for me. I mean, even more than just one citation is enough for me to be like, oh, you're riding a bike. Yeah, that's what you're doing. I'm taking your car back. And if you don't go get a job, I'm selling this car on Facebook Marketplace for like the damn near $2 because I want this car out of here. I'm dead ass. I'll be diabolical with that. Watch your car go bye-bye. Watch you have to go and walk or ride your bike to places. Get that job and pay off those tickets. But you ain't going anywhere with that car. That's number one. Then number two, you got a restraining order. A restraining order. What? You're a parent and you're not doing anything about it? Huh? That just doesn't make any sense to me, guys. There'd be some serious sit-down talks, serious need of bringing in some sort of professional for that kid to be talking to a professional, because clearly it's beyond the parents. It's beyond the parenting. Something else is going on here. Real talk. And instead, oh boy, this kid did what he did. Now, one thing is for sure, because some of y'all are going, the title is misleading. It's not misleading, because we're about to get straight into that, by the way. So he went on live stream and he said some things about these two girls before the demise of these two girls. All about them saying something about the demise of Charlie Kirk. Now, let me just say this. Oops, I messed up, but you get it. All right. CK, let me just say this. He said what he said. I'm not trying to, I'm not spinning this to make it sound like something else. Nope. He says it himself. He felt some type of way, and I feel that this was the last straw. Like I said, I don't think this was the only thing. I don't think he just ran off like, oh, you said something about CK, and then he just ran and did what he did. No, I truly think that there was months of buildup, and then finally, the last straw was hearing them making fun or making light of CK's demise. Let me show you.
I gotta get drop P5 tonight.
Hey, whenever Maria sees the pizza guy come, better think of Charlie Kirk for making fun of his fucking death. Stupid ass clown.
Wait, what?
Just remember that.
You heard that, right? Okay. So again, he was making phone calls and sending, as pranks, pizza to the girl's house. All right. We're going to see it more. And hit the number one. I know you guys can't hear it on TikTok, but on y'all in YouTube, y'all heard that clip, right? You guys can hear the audio, right? I want to make sure the audio is on point because yesterday was a cluster F with all that. Okay. But he literally said that. I'm going to play one more time, but hit the number one. Let me know you guys can hear that. Okay. I'm going to play one more time. I want you to hear what he's saying. He says about CK. This is not like a stretch. He literally is saying that. And then later got into a car and ran those girls down. Hear that.
I gotta get drop P5 tonight.
Hey, whenever Maria sees the pizza guy come, better think of Charlie Kirk for making fun of his fucking death. Stupid ass clown.
Wait, what?
Just remember that.
Then later he jumped into a car and took those girls' lives. I want to make that. I know you guys can't hear it. If you want to hear it, go over to my YouTube channel. Okay. Because there's going to be a lot of audio here in just a little bit that I'm going to be sharing on the YouTube channel. So hop over to the Pascal Show over on YouTube. All right. But again, right after that, later he went on to take these girls' lives. Okay. Then he went back on to social media. He went back on and streamed and talked about, oh yeah, like I said, may they rest in peace. And, he has nothing to do with it and blah, blah, blah. When everybody and their mama already knew that he was already harassing these girls. Okay. He was already harassing these girls.
I've been through way too.
Hold on. I got more. Let's take a look.
I've been through way too much. I'm a nice kid. I'm 17 years old with a good family by my side. And these allegations.
By the way, this is after. Okay. This is after he did what he did. This double M that he just did. He goes on to his live stream and starts talking about this on his live stream. This is insane. Let me just roll that back one more time. I know you're not going to hear it, but go over to the YouTubes, okay? The Pascal Show on YouTube. Go on over here and take a look, okay? This is, it's crazy. He's already talking about it hours later. You realize how dumb he is, right? Because, like, if he really did not want to get caught, which, by the way, thank God he got caught. Thank God he's dumb. Okay, but here's the other thing, too. He's dumb because he did what he did in broad daylight in a town or on a street that has multiple ring cameras. So there's no hiding the situation. It's not like he waited for it to be pitch black outside or anything of that sort. He's this dumb that he would go onto his own live stream and start talking about the unaliving of two girls that is still fresh and trying to deny the claims that he's a part of it. When did anybody do the math and start blaming him for the thing that happened to these two girls already? You see what I'm saying? It's dumb. He's very dumb. Okay? Take a listen.
I've been through way too much. I'm a nice kid. I'm 17 years old with a good family by my side. And these allegations that have been ruining everything is a shame. In a neighboring town, unfortunately, two girls were killed in a hit-and-run crash. Now, there has been a lot of misinformation going on over the internet.
This is hours after, by the way, guys. Hours after. Okay? So it says he's accused of, attacking these two girls with his SUV on September 29th. It appears he went live around 10 p.m. the next day. Okay?
But I will say this. I wish my sincerest condolences to those two girls lost in that tragic accident. Okay? It is an absolute unfortunate situation, and there's more to the story that you're not getting. Making threats against my family will not be tolerated.
He just said there's more to the story. What? Why would there be more to the story if you have nothing to do with the demise of these two girls? You see what I'm saying? He's dumb. There's more to the story. Why are you even saying that? In fact, why are you even live streaming right now, homie? Why are you even saying any of this crap out loud? Don't be dumb, but be dumb. In fact, actually, please be dumb, okay? But the fact that he went live and he's like, there's more to this story. Homie. Thank you for being dumb. Thank you for being an idiot. Thank you. No. Thank you. Thank you for being dumb. Yes. More, please.
My cousin has received hateful messages over social media about this whole spiel, and he's had to unfollow me on everything because of this whole drama. I have built a great following on TikTok with 39,000 followers
Wow.
that I have grown since 2020. And I want to thank each and every single one of y'all. I love you all to absolute death. This will be in the hands of Jesus. Everything will be okay. I've been bullied, ridiculed, and stuff over false allegations, okay? Over this whole thing about things that have happened in the past. I really think you all should be a lot nicer to each other. If anything happens, I'm going to give you all some advice, all right? If you get bullied and ridiculed in school about, stuff that people hate you, I would tell your counselor immediately. And, before the gets out of hand, you got to address all these things, because I'll tell you what, the amount of bullying that I've been put through in the past has been absolutely absurd.
So now he's a victim as well. Interesting, right? Yeah, he presumed hostile. He is most definitely a stupid games winner. All right. He running around with that big old stuffed duck, okay, right now from the fair because he is that dumb. He is that idiotic that he goes out here on here. And again, like I said, thank God he's dumb because that kind of stuff, him doing what he did, which should never have happened. Thank God he's dumb. Thank God he is dumb. Because without it, it would take a little bit longer for them to catch him. But it is unfortunate that this situation did end up happening. Again, you got a situation where you got this guy, he was lurking. He tried to hit on one of the girls, okay? He was trying to hit on Maria, if I'm correct. She refused. She put him down, rejected him, which is normal. That's just part of life. He got very upset about that. He went out of his way to, which is insane, okay? But he went out of his way to start lurking after the girls or one of the girls for several months. This wasn't a situation where it was just a few days and then this tragedy happened and it happened so fast like that. No, this was happening for several months. They had to file a restraining order. And still, that didn't stop this kid from doing what he ended up doing. Because he was super triggered about them making a joke about CK's demise. Which, by the way, not good. I don't condone that at all. But at the same time, that's their right to say whatever the hell they want to say. That's what freedom of speech is. And if they were very happy about the demise, that's what they said. That is what it is. That doesn't mean that that person or any kid, any person should lose their life for saying what they want to say on whatever platform or wherever they said it. But this guy is insane. This guy is a special crazy. And that's the thing, okay? Yes, I already said that, Rich Buddy. I just said that, all right? So yeah, like I said, let me just repeat this again because I think some people are getting here just showing up late to the party. So let me say this again. He went up to Maria, asked for her number, basically. Okay, long story short, she said, no thanks. He, of course, was upset about it. Rejection hurts. It is what it is, but you move on. But instead, he didn't. He started stalking, lurking, etc. So much that there was a restraining order that was issued. Then he was obsessing, sending over, doing prank deliveries, pizza deliveries to that girl's home. All right. Then restraining order was issued, pizza delivery stuff, pranks were still going on for months. And then finally, she says something about Charlie Kirk's demise. He gets upset, he gets in a car, and he mows them down. Then goes back on his social media live and starts talking and trying to defend himself, basically saying he's a victim of bullying and all that crap, and that he has nothing to do with the demise of these two girls, Maria and Isabella, when that obviously is a bold-faced lie. So again, this is breadcrumbs leading up to all of this. And then, of course, the CK comments angered him so much that he got into his SUV and went 70 miles an hour in a 25-mile-an-hour street, taking these two girls out, and then driving his car back home and acting like he had nothing to do with it. That is insane. Okay? Absolutely insane. We got more, though. There's more to this. Okay? It's like I said, I just don't understand. I'm trying my best to understand it as best as I can too, because this stuff is absolutely insane, but it is very real. Okay? It is very much real. Hold on one second, guys. I want to make sure we have this too. Because we got a few. There we go. There it is. This guy is something else. I know you guys aren't going to be able to hear this on here. Again, let me just say this. Go over to my YouTube channel, The Pascal Show. You can check out the full the videos that we're showing here. Okay, over there. All right. And of course, again, before we get into this clip here, all right, which they show the crazy his laugh and all that after he makes these pizza phone calls, like these prank phone calls that he's doing and all that stuff. Again, it's maniacal. Okay. And again, something's really wrong with the kid. Parents should have done something about this. Okay. Like, really. Wait, Tyree. Yes. Just looking at the full list of tickets, let me know my comment was on point. His parents need to take accountability since they won't allow him to all I see is jail time. So since they won't allow him to all I see is jail time. Absolutely. This guy is in some serious trouble. Okay? He is in some serious mother-loving trouble. But the parents most definitely need to be held accountable for everything that's going on here. You can miss me with the nonsense if you're looking at the situation and trying to say, well, and maybe no. This guy should be tried in as adult. There was countless situations. There are countless walls that were built up against him in the very beginning. And then he still did what he did. And yes, I truly think that the parents should be held accountable for this situation. There was plenty of forewarning. Plenty. I would want to see proof if they were trying to do something to stop or help this kid out. Real talk. Here's the other thing too. Let me just say this, okay? Let me say this before I say they should take full accountability. If there's proof positive that the parents were doing everything they could in their power to stop this kid or to help their child out, that's one thing. But if there's no help, there was no effort to try to help their child in this situation, then yeah, they should be held 110% accountable. But the breadcrumbs in their timeline tells me that they didn't do a damn thing. Gives me the vibe that they didn't even try to do a damn thing. You got multiple citations. You got the TRO. He's a minor. You mean to tell me that the parents aren't going to know about that? That makes no sense. That makes no sense unless the parents are unhinged themselves. They have mental health issues too, undiagnosed maybe. I don't know. But again, something about this does not seem right. It doesn't smell right. And this kid and the kid's parents should be held accountable for what happened here. Let's take a look at this. This is from Inside Edition. This is just crazy.
8 miles per hour. That's how fast cops say a 17-year-old was driving when he mowed down 2 teen girls riding on an e-bike. Now video has surfaced of the suspect shortly after the crash, laughing on a gaming site.
It's the
You see that laugh? That laugh alone. This is after, they're saying. You see that laugh? We can just stop right there. It's a wrap. It's like, Your Honor, we only have one exhibit. All right. We have only one exhibit. It's Exhibit A right here. Ladies and gentlemen of the jury. See how this man is laughing after what he had done? This is a very diabolical, sick, demented individual. The prosecution rests. That's it. That's it. Be done. Be done. This is premeditated. Okay? This was premeditated. And here's the other thing. How would he know exactly where they were? Think about that too. How would he know exactly where they were on that e-bike at that particular time? Now, I don't know the details about that, like where they lost their lives, if this was in the down the street, right next door, right in front of her home or one of the girls' homes. That's possible. But at the same time, how would he know that they would be in that right place at that right time to do that unthinkable, unspeakable crime? Think about that for a second. That means he was lurking. He was chilling in the cut, waiting for a moment to pounce, and then he did it. Come on now. Because they could have been doing a joyride. Okay? They could have been doing all kinds of different joyrides, riding around the neighborhood, blah, blah, blah. You mean to tell me he just happened to be in the right place? No, he was searching. He was looking for them. He was lurking. Like he always does. Like he always has been. For several months. Let's not forget that. This is several months, y'all. Several. This is premeditated. He got in his fee-fees about being rejected, about getting that TRO, that restraining order. And then on top of it, he got very upset about their thoughts about CK's demise. That's it. And then he lost his freaking marbles.
Creepy laugh of an accused killer.
That's not normal.
We're learning new information about 17-year-old Vincent Battiloro, accused of intentionally slamming his Jeep into two best friends as they rode an e-bike.
I'm telling you right now, that's a normal laugh. You a parent and that's a normal laugh. You're just like, oh, that's just how my son laughs. That's just normal. No, that's not normal. That's not normal. Even I myself, I'm like, okay, what's the number to the closest therapist right now? Are you okay, buddy? That's a laugh I've never seen you do before. Here's the other thing too. Like, he's 17, right? Are you not checking out your kids' content that they're making online? I mean, I don't know. I would. I'd be checking all kinds of things out. I want to see what the hell's going on. I want to know what they're talking about. If they're live streaming, I'm checking that stuff out. Maybe I got to make a fake account, okay, so that they don't know that I'm watching live, but I'm going to watch. Are you out your rabbit ass mind? You really think that us as parents, we're just going to sit there and not see what our kids are doing if they're live streaming? Let's not forget this too. Especially when they just got issued a temporary restraining order. I'm watching every single thing. I'm watching everything. Why did my kid get a TRO? The hell? Why did he get a TRO? I'm looking it up. I'm trying to find out what the hell's going on. And as soon as I see a laugh like that, where is it? Like this? Live?
It's the creep.
We are having a conversation. Okay? I turn into Unk. Okay? Now, and I'm pulling up my waistband. All right? Now, son, plop your ass down right now. We need to talk, son. All right? Now, I saw you on that live, and that laugh, I'm going to tell you, scared the hell out of me. All right? The hell is going on with you, son? That's it. We're having a conversation. No more live streaming. Nah, bro. I'm taking your phone. You're calling prank pizzas to the girl that you have a TRO on. Give me your mother-loving phone. No. Give me your phone right now. Here's a book. Read it. You ain't streaming nothing. No more gaming. No more I'm taking all your cameras. I'm taking the gaming console. I don't give a damn. I don't care. Okay? I'm even taking the Atari. Yes, it's old school. I get it, but I'm taking it all. I'm not playing. So where's the parents in this situation? Real talk. He's live streaming this stuff, guys. Live streaming. Okay, let's continue. This is messed up 70 miles an hour. And if that's his car, That's a nice car too. All right. That ain't just like some clunker on the side of the road. It's not like a clunker you bought for $600 at one of those used cars dealerships. All right. Yeah, I said Atari. You got a problem with that, man? Okay. I said Atari. Yeah, we going old school. I don't care. I don't care. I don't care. I don't care. We're taking everything from you. You're just going to be reading books. If I don't see your nose in a book, you're going to be in trouble. That's it. That's a really nice ride. Beautiful Messy Ball just said, that's a brand new Jeep Compass. Diggity damn. That's a nice ass ride. Is it not? This is about an hour from you? Oh, damn, that's crazy. But again, look. Nice ass ride. You just gave that to your kid. See, that's the thing. And don't get me wrong. If you got a responsible, good kid that really treats their car like it's their, the best, you know what I mean? Treats it very well. Okay. Don't treat it like mother loving David did with his Tesla. Okay. But real talk, when you're taking good care of the car, and I'm seeing you take good care of that car, I'm going to upgrade you. Okay. I will upgrade you with a nice ride. But first things first, you young, you dumb, and you're full of spunk, okay? You're full of moxie. So nope, not giving you a nice ass ride right off the bat. Well, over time, when you show me that you're doing great and you're being responsible and you're not just banging up the car like crazy, you're treating it like it's porcelain, you'll get an upgrade. Citations, etc. None of those. All right? Treat that car with respect. I will respectfully upgrade you. But he got a Jeep, really nice new car that he's speeding all over like a bat out of hell and use this as his murder weapon, y'all. Okay? This is not good. This is not good at all. And the parents, I don't know. Yeah, him spoiled big time, Rose Gold. Him spoiled. Okay? This is not how you handle your problems. And parents, y'all need to start keeping an eye on your kids. Just because they're live streaming, look at this stuff. Look at this stuff. Look it up. What's wrong with that? There's nothing wrong with you looking up your kid. Because I know some parents are like, you got the phone in your hand. You go, I don't want to watch. He's going to know it's me. He's going to be so mad. He's going to be so mad. He's going to see my name in there. He's going to be so mad. Okay, then make a fake account. Make a fake mother-loving account. Okay? All right. You can still parent from a distance. You can still monitor. I'm not sitting here saying to hide and lie to your kids. I say be transparent as hell. I'm coming in. Don't worry, I'm not going to comment, but I'm watching you, son, daughter. I'm being real. You mean to tell me that's no, I'm watching y'all, especially when you got a kid who's going unhinged. There's a restraining order on him, and he's going on lives talking about this stuff and doing prank pizza delivery calls live on his platform. No, man, I'm stepping in that stream. The hell you doing, son? No, end it right now. Right now. I'm just saying, man, what's going on with parents, y'all? Yeah, parents put filters on kids' computers. Yes, Harriet, on YouTube. Yes, they do. But like I said, there's still people who are able to just go live because the parents aren't looking. The parents aren't listening, and they don't care to a certain extent. Or they're scared. Like I said, they're like, I don't want to get in trouble. He's gonna know it's my name. It's his last name too. He already know. I mean, I'm his mother. If I hit here, he's gonna know. I'm scared. No, go on. And watch how his demeanor changes or her demeanor changes real quick. Real quick. Damn right. Okay? Damn mother loving right. So miss me with the nonsense. That's our job. It's our job. Okay? I'm being real. I won't hide. I'm not making some fake account. It's going to be like, right, boop. Pascal just joined. And all of a sudden she's like, yeah, turn to page Leviticus. I'm just saying, okay? We're going to read from Deuteronomy while I sip on my green tea. Jesus is Lord. Wait for it, okay? Wait for it. I don't play. Okay? I'm just saying I ain't playing. All right? Y'all dudes should do the same and watch them change their demeanor. You know? Yeah, bro. You pop in. So the math question that we have here is watch. Demeanor completely changes. And now they know you're watching. That's it. Or they didn't see you in the chat, but they come out like, yeah, bro, the Riz is real, bro. You know what I mean? And then they walk in for dinner, right? You're like, I just love how you talked about, oh my gosh, I wrote notes. So what is Riz? What is what is dibbity zibbity dibbity toilet? What is that? What does that mean? That's just so interesting. And I love how you said things about Sydney Sweeney's boobies. Oh, that was so poetic what you said. It was so many 4-letter words. Oh my gosh. It filled up a whole page. Moving on though. So you have an account on P-Hub? I did not know. We need to sit down and talk. I'm just being real, okay? Be diabolical, okay? Okay? Be diabolical. Let them know that you don't play and that you watching. That's it. Because that's exactly what I'm going to do. Okay? Great show today, honey. Didn't know the kids are wearing these things, what you wore on the show today. Wow, where did you get that? I didn't get it. Mama for damn show didn't get it for you. So where did you get that? I got notes. For a better show. Stop. Trying to help you for a better show. Okay? You got so many followers. My Lord. Wow. I'm impressed. Pretty girl like you. You got to be careful. By the way, who is Snowball 6972? He says some really weird things to you. And is he grown? Cause you ain't. Yeah. You need to block that man. Okay, because that sounded like a grown ass man. All right. Like I said, I'm not playing. Okay. We must protect our children at all costs. And we need to also protect our children from themselves at all costs as well. And look at what happened here. A lot of warning signs that were overlooked. If not overlooked, completely ignored. That is a huge problem. Okay? Huge problem. But I just wanted to show you that. But let's continue because there's more here.
We found this video of Battiloro on a gaming site talking about pranking Maria by sending a pizza to her house. She reportedly had spurned his advances and had filed for a restraining order against him.
Hi, can I place an order for delivery, please? Can I get 2 large pepperoni pieces? It'll be cash at the door.
He then lets out that demonic laugh. He tells viewers it's all because allegedly Maria had made fun of Charlie Kirk.
Whenever Maria sees the pizza guy come, better think of Charlie Kirk for making fun of his death. Stupid clown.
A fellow gamer asks if he'll drive to Maria's house to watch the pizza be delivered.
Oh, I did that the last time, but the mother saw me pull up in the car, and I got tracked, and the police, did what they did.
He says out loud, do you understand how insane this kid is. Because he said, hey, yeah, I did that last time. I went after. Somebody said, hey, why don't you go and see the pizza get delivered at the house and have a good chuckle? Who's online supporting and trying to encourage that, right? But like I said, the internet is diabolical for show. He goes, well, actually, funny you mention it, but I've done that before. And the parents caught me. And they tracked me. And then that's, when they did what they did, AKA TRO restraining order was issued because of him lurking in the shadows, because he was harassing this young teen girl. He's insane. And he's saying it live on camera. Do you understand? This is as bad as O.J. Simpson writing a book saying, if I was going to do it, this is what I would have done. He's dumb.
Battiloro made the video 9 days ago. On Monday, when the two girls were killed, police say Battiloro fled the scene before they found and detained him and issued him an astonishing 15 tickets. But he was not arrested because he claimed it was an accident. The next day, Battiloro went online to express his condolences.
In a neighboring town, unfortunately, two girls were killed.
He literally said that this was an accident. Then he went online later and said, my condolences to these two teenagers. He knew them. So why is he suddenly distancing himself by not even saying their names? Do you realize how disrespectful and callous and effed up that is? He doesn't even sit there and say their names.
In a hit and run crash. I wish my sincerest condolences.
On Wednesday, after police discovered his connections to Maria Niotis, he was arrested and charged with first-degree murder. Last night, Maria's mother spoke out.
She wasn't just my daughter. She was my best friend, my sunshine.
The families of both victims released.
I mean, it's just a level of dumb and a level of just. It's so hard to explain what I'm thinking in my head without using every four-letter word I can think of in my mind right now. All right. But this is the kind of thing that you fear. Okay. This is definitely one of the things that you fear as a parent. Okay. Shoot, as a relative. Okay. If you're an aunt or uncle, grandparent, right? This is the thing that you fear the most for kids, that they're going to have somebody feel some type of way that they're going to do something like this. Truly is scary. Truly is scary. We got to go over to Banfield because last night they talked about this as well. Here's the thing, and I appreciate it because Jesse Weber was sitting in for Ashley Banfield, so he talked about this as well, and I appreciate this as well. That kid was only because he's still alive. He is 17 years old, and he's now claiming that this was an accident. I don't know how this was an accident, y'all. He really did what he did here. All right. No kid should have to suffer the way that those two kids. No kid should lose their lives the way that these kids lost their lives. Okay. Real talk. Let's take a look. And let me just make this. So here's the thing. Somebody in the chat said, take down CK's name. This is not why the maniac did this. You are being irresponsible. I'm not being irresponsible. This is part of the reason why this guy did what he did. Okay? It is part of it. And if you were here in the very beginning of the show, and I highly recommend if you did not, I'm going to say it again now, but I would rewind just so you can see proof positive that I said this earlier too. I said this is not the only reason why this guy did what he did. This was, I feel, the straw that broke the camel's back. Things that were being said about CK's demise that triggered this kid to do what he ended up doing. Because right after he made comments about these girls making fun of CK's demise, he ran them down. And now he's claiming it to be an accident. But this was several months of things leading up to what actually happened. So the CK fan part is true because it is in video that we've already played 3 different times, all right, in the very beginning of the show. So this is not irresponsible. This is actual facts. I'm just giving it to you guys so that you guys know, all right? Again, he's definitely a psychopath, but at the same time, this is something that definitely triggered him even more to do what he ended up doing. It is a part of it. This is one of the things that is out here that people are covering and talking about. So we are talking about it. I'm not sitting here saying, let me repeat this one more time so that people can stop getting in their feelings about this. I'm not saying at all that that is the only reason. It is part of the reason, though. It is part of it. You hear him say it himself. He was very upset about that, about what happened, about what they said about CK. But other things there's plenty of things that were stacked up way before the CK comment was made, for sure. All right? So just saying that out loud. He was already in his feelings about being rejected, about he continued to have an obsession. He was lurking. There was a restraining order. He was still sending out prank phone calls or prank pizza deliveries. All of these things were stacking up. And then at the very last minute, last thing was him sitting there saying, like, I hope they, understand what they said, these stupid effing clowns, blah, 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 right? About CK. So it is a part of it. It is part of the timeline. So there it is. Okay. And clearly he snapped. Okay. So again, let me go back to this. Everyone chill. See, that's the thing. We're talking about what's going on. Okay. See, and that's the thing too. Like, beautiful messy ball. I actually do want to see the video that she said, where she said anything about CK. That's one thing I'm wondering about too, right? I'd like to see that piece too, for sure. Okay. But I have yet to see that anywhere. I looked around. I was like, where did she say anything? I want to see that. Is this something that he just made up in his own head? You see what I'm saying? Or is there something more that happened, right? Right. Yeah, that's true. That's true. That's true, beautiful messy ball. Just because he said that doesn't mean it makes it so. Maybe he made it up just so that she could look even worse. You see what I'm saying? Because let's not forget all the stuff that's been going on ever since CK lost his life. People were losing their jobs. People are losing their jobs. People are losing their jobs for saying anything that is remotely opposite of what the general consensus is, which is, he shouldn't have lost his life and, blah, 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 right? RIP, etc. There's other people that have been very joyous over that situation, literally stopping at nothing and making TikToks, videos, etc., putting out memes, joking about his demise, which I think is messed up. That's wrong. I don't agree with that. I don't. Because I don't feel like that's the right thing to do for any person who lost their life out here in these streets in this way. Okay? But given the fact that there was a wave of that going on, and it's still kind of going on. Let's not forget Jimmy Kimmel was kicked off air for making comments about CK as well. Like, all these things happened during that time. So he could have just been saying that for the sake of saying it to make her sound like she's a terrible person. He could have just been speaking ill on her to make her sound like she's just a bad, bad person. That's possible. But nonetheless, he did say it before he jumped into a car and ran 2 teens down. Can't deny that. So again, is it true? Is it fake? Don't know. But what I do know is that he said that. And then he got into a car and did what he did. And now he's saying this is all an accident. Didn't look like an accident to me.
It was a week ago tonight that 2 New Jersey girls, both 17, both in the prime of their life, close friends, they were riding e-bikes down a quiet street when a barreling SUV hit and killed them both. Now, we followed this story since New Jersey prosecutors dropped a bombshell 2 days later that the driver, who's also 17, was being charged not just with hit and run or even deliberate hit and run, but with 2 counts of first-degree murder. That is as big time as charges get. And since then, it has come out that Vincent Battiloro, the suspect, had allegedly been stalking one of the victims for months, to the point where police had been called again and again. But allegedly, the stalking didn't stop. We also know that police say Battiloro was driving at least 70 miles an hour on impact. This was on a street zoned for 25. Over the weekend, Banfield producers, they traveled to the town of Cranford, where almost every house on that street has a ring cam, and where neighbors told us police have been collecting their videos and asking them not to share it with anybody else. Now, my next guest has been on this story as well. We're joined by Joshua Rhett Miller. He's the chief investigative reporter for Newsweek. Thank you so much for coming on, Josh. Really appreciate it. So right now, we have this 17-year-old suspect currently being charged as a juvenile, 2 counts of first-degree murder. But are you hearing that prosecutors will move to charge him as an adult? And if so, when can we expect that might happen?
All possibilities are on the table. Well, first, thank you for having me. I'm told that all possibilities are on the table. So while they're not committing that the suspect is going to be tried as an adult, they're not exactly ruling that out either.
And they haven't given you a time frame about when we might see something or anything like that, right?
No, they have not. They've actually said that they're going to make no further public comment, citing the state's juvenile laws.
I was hoping you could clear something up with me. I've seen there's been conflicting reporting on whether or not this suspect is actually in police custody or he might be out roaming free. What can you tell us?
He's going to have to say that all over again.
That he has been charged with 2 counts of first-degree murder. I don't know where he is housed at this time, so I cannot tell you the facility in which he's being held, but it's my understanding that he does remain in custody as of this evening.
Yeah,
and he should be held without bail, in my personal opinion. I think that this is a kid who's absolutely dangerous. He's unhinged, and God knows what else he's going to do. Because he could have other grudge or other beef with other people that he knows from school or something of that sort, right? He was saying that he was messed with at school and all that, right? So there's a possibility of that too, right? But again, this is just crazy. This is crazy.
Your audio cut out at the beginning, just to be clear. So he is in custody. Do you know why those rumors were spreading that he might be out free? I mean, I'm sure a lot of people are following this case. I'm sure it's probably affected this community. It's a tragic story. It's awful.
It's incredibly tragic. There was some speculation online that because his uncle is a police chief in a neighboring town, that may have something to do with it. As you may know, he spoke about the crash the day after on his YouTube page, which has since been taken down. This morning, I was at Isabella's funeral, and it was an extremely melancholy affair. It was just heart-wrenching. And I spoke to one woman who actually changed Isabella's diapers as a child, and she was so angry that this had happened to a child of her mother's good friend. And so it was just extremely hard to watch dozens of her classmates from Cranford High School just completely inconsolable. It was just tragic to see.
It's awful, and we're trying to understand what happened here. You have friends and family who say this suspect was stalking Maria Niotis for months. What do you know about that? What have they told you about that? Have you seen any evidence of this alleged stalking?
So Maria's grandmother had said that the car that was allegedly driven by the suspect, a 2021 Jeep Compass, had been parked out of their house for hours at a time, and that Maria's mother had gotten in touch with police several times. The same thing was said by her uncle, Mike. He made a Facebook post that the family had reached out to cops multiple times, but that nothing had been done.
Look at that. Ain't that crazy? Cops were sent out to, parents reported to police multiple times, and nothing happened. Nothing was done, right? There was nothing done. No extra protection, no extra surveillance, no nothing. Just they were reported, the incidents were reported, and then nothing. And that's the thing. Like I just posted from, I forgot who said it. I'm sorry. Just I click these things so fast. But what's crazy is that you have a guy who's doing all this. Police are being notified of this guy lurking, and no one's doing anything about it. That's weird. And it is a problem from what I'm seeing, that there's so many issues with people doing things like, mental health when it comes to lurking, etc. They're not doing anything. Like there's a slow reaction to these kinds of things when there should be zero tolerance of this stuff that's going on. Like that's weird, right? Someone said Joanne on TikTok said, just like David's case, cops were notified since February 24, and nothing was done. Yeah. I mean, that's the ongoing issue, right? We start hearing all these things, right? We start hearing about a paper trail of, hey, this guy's lurking. Hey, these things are being put out here. This guy keeps on showing up and there's nothing being done. But like I said, I think it's a combination of different things. It's the kid's parents. It's Vincent Battiloro's parents and their possible lack of involvement. And it seems like there is a lack of involvement here. And then it's also police that's not taking this as seriously. When it doesn't matter, there's somebody lurking in the background waiting for a moment to pounce. Why would that person lurk in the first place? Real talk, think about it. Why would he be showing up to, outside of her home, sitting in a car watching her house? Why would he be doing that in the first place? That's not for good reason. It's for intimidation, or he's waiting for a moment so that he can actually pounce, or waiting for a moment like what he just did to these two girls. So again, it's a huge problem. It's a huge, huge problem, y'all. It's two problems: parents and their lack of doing something about it, and possibly cops lacking the possibility of doing something as well about this. This is pretty insane, y'all. Let me play a little bit more.
They are angry. They're completely inconsolable, but they're also angry, and they want some answers as to how this happened.
Do we know more about this guy? I mean, his background, motive. So you talked about him on social media. I mean, what do we know about him?
Sure. So he was pretty big on.
This guy's internet is terrible.
Okay, I think your audio. Yep, I think your audio cut out there. Sorry, Josh. All right. Well, I'll tell you this much. I do, but I think we've just run out of time. But I'll tell you what, we're going to continue to follow this case. Obviously, this is continuing to.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, this is a very, very sad, very, very sad and messed up situation. I feel like there is a trifecta of different things that could have happened to prevent this situation from going down. Prevention could have definitely happened. All right, period. But then nothing was done. You got a guy who is going unhinged, a guy who is, already was unhinged way before he got in that car and did what he did to those two girls. And yet nothing was done as far as prevention. That is a problem. And that's not only just the parents, which of course the parents, most definitely I'm looking at the parents of Vincent Battiloro's parents as well, but also 5-0. If there were countless phone calls made to local PD about this ongoing situation and nothing was done about it, that is a huge freaking problem. Okay? That is a massive problem. Let me get some of these super chats here really quick, and I'll explain it. I'm going to do a quick summary here. So stick around on the Tiki-Talk. I'll give a quick breakdown really quick here in a second. Let me get some of these super chats here really quick. So 9 months. Thank you so much, Peg, for being a part of this for 9 months. I really do appreciate it. But was a lurker for much longer. Thank you so much for the love. All right. Your channel and content, Pascal, or you love my content, my channel. I really do appreciate that. Thank you so much for your support. Okay. Let's see. Got a couple. Here we go. Black Skate Queen, thank you so much for the super chat. But the left, but Chicago, but DEI. When is the country going to start focusing on the right things, like these incel red pill boys of a certain hue running amok? Well, here's the thing. I think that I feel like we've been seeing a gamut of all kinds of different people with mental health issues on all kinds of levels. I mean, let's not forget what happened with the Mormon Church. Then let's not forget what happened at the Annunciation Church in Minneapolis, or somewhere in Minneapolis, if I'm Minnesota, right? Look at all the things that we've been seeing. How about the NFL with the guy running up saying it's CTE and all that? Okay. Opening fire on multiple levels in New York City, which is absolutely crazy as well. Which, by the way, random side note, okay, random sidebar, but I'm going to say it anyway. Apparently, that guy did have CTE. Ain't that something? That guy who walked into New York City, drove from Vegas to New York City, walked into that building, opened fire, and did all what he did. All right. In the NFL building with a Blackstone, I don't remember, Blackstone, Black Bar, whatever it was. Want you to know, autopsy came back and he did indeed have CTE. Wild. Just so you know. Saw that randomly like weeks ago. And now that we're talking about it, I'm like, okay, let me give you guys that information really quick. Pretty nutty stuff, that part. All right. I want to make that abundantly clear. But I do think that it's more than just one specific hue. I meshed two words together. One specific hue. I don't think it's more than just, I think it's more than just one specific hue. I think there's all different types of people from all walks of life that are dealing with all kinds of different types of mental health issues. Yes, we do have some incel-y type of guys running around with these pew-pews and doing God knows what. All right. But we also do have other people on the far left doing bad things as well. What is the problem here? To me, the problem is mental health for sure. And of course, the control of these weapons, period. I think right now we're in a place that we need to stop, with all due respect. I think we're in a place right now where we need to stop pointing the finger at things at let me just say this, at specific groups, because these monsters that are doing these things are not all the same. They are not a monolith. Look at what happened with the guy with the assailant at the Mormon church. How about the guy who was on the riverbed in North Carolina, if I remember correctly, opening fire on a restaurant on the river, right? Look at all the cases that we've covered as of late. They have been super young to super old. Some of them white, some of them brown, some of them black. Some of them trans, some of them heterosexual, and then some. Some of them, for sure, incels. Some of them hardcore left, extreme left. So again, like I said, I think it's more than just a hue, more than just a red pill type of thing. I think the problem is mental health and getting access to these pew-pews. How do we stop that? Well, one, we need to take mental health care way more serious than what we're doing right now, because we don't take it very serious. There's such a stigma attached to it that people are scared. Most people are hiding in plain sight with their mental health issues, the depression, their schizophrenia, the bipolar disorders that are running around. They're running around here undiagnosed. Real talk. Undiagnosed, hiding in plain sight because they're scared of how the world's going to look at them if they were to be diagnosed as such. Oh, damn, he crazy. We're not going to mess with him. Oh, he off his rocker. He lost his marbles. Oh, he's going to therapy? Oh, he's nuts. No, we don't need to talk to him anymore. You see what I'm saying? There's such a stigma to it. And that's a sad part about the world that we live in right now. Instead of us embracing it and letting it be something that is real and is a common situation, we tend to just shun it, side-eye it, and judge. That is a huge problem. So then we have people who want to say that they need help, but they're scared to say it because of the stigma. Or you got parents or family members that are not willing to help because they're scared of the judgment that they're going to get from other people. You see what I'm saying? My kid's fine. No. My kid is fine. He's going to work through this. This is just a growing phase. He's going to be just fine, right? Because God forbid they take the kid to a proper place where they get proper therapy and have the rest of the world side-eye them like, oh, you're raising a broken kid. It's like, no, my kid has some issues that he's working out. And hopefully he'll work these things out and either grow out of it or he'll be able to maintain it and control the issues that he has. That's it. And that he has a supportive, loving family that will always hold it down for him. That's how it should be. But unfortunately, there's such a stigma attached to those things that everyone, including the parents, try to go into the sea or into denial. Like I always say, never underestimate the power of denial. Because you'll be surprised what parents will say to themselves before they go to bed, just so that they can have a good night's rest, instead of actually attacking the issue and figuring it out and doing what they can to help their child and saying, F everybody else for judging us. We have to figure this out. Keeping up with the Joneses can go kick rocks, right? That's what I truly think. John, thank you so much. This is a great chat. Thank you so much for being here. Appreciate the comment. Rye the guy. I think the defense was that the kid had affluenza. He was so rich that he couldn't understand the circumstances of his actions. I think that's the case you were referring to. Oh, yes. Maybe it was, which is dumb if that's his excuse. But yeah, he was rich and born with a silver spoon in his mouth, driving around in these fast cars, a teenager, and all he was doing was just blazing down the road. He just didn't give a damn, right? Amanda just said on TikTok, I love this because conversation. I was once that mom who was afraid to label my son ADHD. Yeah. Thank you so much for sharing that on TikTok, Amanda. But yes, that's exactly the issue here, right? That there are, I hate to say that, but sometimes we need to look ourselves in the mirror and realize that maybe it's the fear of judgment. There are plenty of people out here that are running around undiagnosed with, whatever mental health situations that they have, because they're just worried about what everybody else thinks, rather than just going, okay, let me go talk to somebody, or let me go get my kid a professional, because, we're trying here and it's not working out. But here's the thing. This is the other problem too. And we got to talk about men. Okay. We got to talk about boys. All right. Boys that are becoming men, and the men that actually are raising these boys. I think that there's a huge problem with these boys not getting the right kind of help that they rightfully deserve as well. Because a lot of times, from what I've seen, you'll see households where the father will sit there and go, well, he's a man. He'll be fine. We still live in that world. Yes, there are still elements of very sensitive, soft boys out here. And I'm not sitting here saying anything about that. I mean, I think the world that we live in now, I think things are kind of soft to a certain extent, but at the same time, I think there are varying degrees of softness within boys. Okay. But here's the thing. I think one of the main things, especially in men, boys becoming men, is the element of, oh, I don't want my boy being soft. You mean to tell me he has to go get help when the world is tough? It's a hard, cold world out here. He just needs to man up. A lot of men out here will do that kind of thing. And that's how they talk to their kids, to their sons. They think tough love is going to be the answer to it all. Because God forbid, kid has a mental health issue. That means he's just a little soy boy, soft little soul boy, right? When in actuality, it's like, no, the kid does need help. The kid definitely needs the help right now. But I feel a lot of fathers as well will deny, will ignore, because that shows weakness. And that's not what men do. Men always stay hard, tough, rigid, can fight anything, resilient. That's what men are. They lead. They don't cower. When in actuality, if you're attacking and getting the help that you rightfully deserve, that's leading by example. That's leading, right? But I think that the world that we live in, a lot of things are getting ignored within boys because of that whole part. You got to stay being a man. And a man doesn't go and talk about their feelings. Hell no. You don't take a pill to feel better. You do push-ups, right? You do manly things. You learn how to shoot. You learn how to do X, Y, and Z. You do man things. You go lift. You go get laid. You drink a beer, because that's what men do. Unfortunately, that's what a lot of kids are getting plowed into their brains. Unfortunately, a lot of these boys, instead of going, hey, it's okay to have problems. It's okay to talk to a therapist. It's not weak. Doesn't make you weak. It makes you stronger. So let's go. Let's go. Let's get you right. So I think that's also another thing. That's a problem. Medusa, thank you so much for the super sticker. I really do appreciate it. Hollywood 2000, thank you so much. Damn, for being a member for 44 months, man. Woo! That is a long time. Hollywood. Thank you so much. I appreciate you, man. Thank you. So he unlived 2 girls, and I guess he's going to use Yep, he did. He did say that, even though he was lurking after one of them. Sounds like a sociopath to me, in my opinion. Yep. He even tried to say, I'm a victim too. Yeah. He said, I was being made fun of. I was being bullied, etc. Like, you can miss me with that nonsense too. But that's what he's putting out here, y'all. That's precisely what he's putting out here. Beautiful Messy Ball, you have 2. So I'm just going to do those 2 real quick. Thank you so much for the super chats. I just have to, I just have set something straight. So I just want to set something straight. I think that's what you're trying to say. This isn't about Charlie. This kid had been lurking, her for months, and that she reported an attack, had a restraining order. Yep, she did. She most definitely did. But also, I truly think that this Charlie Kirk CK comment was the part of it, for sure. This is the thing that broke the camel's back. That's what I think. Part of it, not the whole thing. Like I said, part of it. Okay? Hold on one second. Shauna just said adolescence. Oh, the movie. Yeah, that was a good movie, or a good series. Good series. Okay? The other beautiful messy ball comment. But the U.S. has some of the highest rates of people on psychotropic / mental health drugs in the world. Could it be that that's the actual problem? We medicate instead of talking and raising each other up? That is a very, very good question. I think, okay. Now that's a whole other Charles Dickens story. Okay. But let's talk about it. See what I did there? I think that there's not enough people talking about things and people just getting thrown medication. Hear me out. I feel that we live in a world, and I've seen plenty of documentaries and shows like this where they'll just be like, oh, your shoulder hurts? Take some pills, right? You having a hard time sleeping? Take some pills. Having a hard time, expressing your feelings? Take some pills. Having a hard time focusing on one thing for longer than 5 seconds? Take some pills. Like, we are in that world where, yes, I agree with what you're saying here, beautiful messy ball. I'm happy that you said this. I feel like we are too reliant on these medications that are supposed to be the be all and end all that's going to save us all, right? When in actuality, sometimes that's just putting a Band-Aid over a bullet wound. If you really think about it, I think that some people just need to talk, not living off social media. And that's how they communicate. But that's the other thing too. We live in a world where we're stuck on our phones. We barely talk to each other. We barely really have real conversations with each other in real life, in person. And a lot of times it's the real conversations are being seen on social media, on camera, on a podcast. You see what I'm saying? Ain't that something? But yes, I do agree with that. We medicate instead of talking and raising each other up. Yes, we live in a very negative society, in a very negative world. Yes, you'll see more and more people saving those videos. Like, I don't know about you, but I see these videos every once in a while, especially on TikTok, which will be like, hi, I'm going to tell you exactly what you need to know about your life or I'm going to give you some mental clarity that's going to make you look at life differently in 30 seconds or 60 seconds or less. And they're like, yeah, so don't eat yellow snow. All right. Always put the toilet seat down after you done number one, fellas. Babies are lovely and they just want your time. They don't care how much money you got in the bank account. And third, your wife is always right and you are always wrong. You just handle those things, okay? You'll have a lovely life. Okay, everybody? I've seen plenty of those videos on TikTok. Just doom scrolling, okay? You want something to feel better with your life? And it's like, come on, man. Come on. How about just having conversations? But you notice people will reshare or save those mother lovers to like them over 100,000 times. So clearly we need to be raising each other up. Clearly we need the help. Clearly we need to be holding each other down, instead of being like, oh, he's wearing a MAGA hat. You know what I mean? Real talk, we need to be better. But we don't live in that world right now, unfortunately. I mean, we could start here in this conversation. We could start right here, right? We could start right here on this platform. At least that's what I try to do. Some days it's easy. Some days it's hard. Some days it's, oh my word, you said something in that title that offended me. How dare you? How dare you? And it's like, well, we're having a conversation about it. We can agree to disagree, but hopefully we walk away with a smile on our face to a certain extent and something to think about. But yes, I agree with you 110%. People are too busy popping pills, baby. Okay? Popping them pills than actually having conversations and talking about their feelings. I know that sounds weird. I know some guys, some mother lovers out here, which is weird. I still think it's weird. I'm talking about the fellas. This goes out to the guys and some girls too. But I do find it weird that you can't even say, I love you to your kids. Come on, baby. Or even to your siblings. Like, that's weird. That's weird, y'all. You're trying to form the word because the word love never came out your damn mouth, not even to your wife. Okay? Even on your wedding night, you couldn't even say, you can't even say the word. It's your wedding night. The hell, right? Can't even express yourself. The emotional intelligence in some of these dudes, gone. I'm just saying. We need to figure some things out. We do. Some ladies too. Like I said, some ladies don't even know how to express their feelings too sometimes, which is weird. But we do live off of social media. Big time. Big time. Madam, thank you so much. Parents were likely scared of him. Crazy like that didn't happen overnight. Crazy like that didn't happen overnight. I read that wrong. You know what? You're right. Maybe. But why are you scared of your own child? I'm just saying. I get it. Some kids are diabolical out here. Okay? Some kids are diabolical out here in these streets, but you can miss me with the nonsense. Okay? That you're scared of your own child. Oh, that's no. No. That's not happening. Okay? Kids should respect you. And if respect isn't established, then being scared will most definitely happen. But respect needs to be established. See, now, they're the kid. You're the parent. And I'll just leave it at that. But yes, that's possible, though. And if they were that scared of him, that's when they were supposed to bring in somebody professional to help with their child. You see what I'm saying? Moving on, though. Thank you so much for the super chat. And if that's true, that's wild. But that's on them for not doing something about it, right? Let's continue. So Black Skate, thank you so much. You got two of them. A lot of what you're speaking of is also online radicalizing these boys. All that stoicism, red pill, Andrew Tate, yes, rest in peace. Some of CK's most recent stuff. And again, I'll just get the other one too. And while, yes, other groups have issues, even when the radical lefties run amok, it turns out they were raised in these red pillish households, hence the same methodology, even with different ideology. I honestly think that there are people that are raised, like I said, I see a little bit different. I see where you're coming from, though, Black Skate. I definitely do. Okay, first off, let's talk about the first comment, okay? Or first super chat, all right? Yes, I think that there is a lot of radicalizing going on online. And I think it's beyond just the Andrew Tates and the CKs. Let's just be real, okay? I think it's beyond those Fresh and Fits and those types of platforms. I think it starts there, and then they go into a deep, dark rabbit hole, and then they find other places to talk to other people that are just as radical, or if not more radical than them, and then they drag them deeper into that dark rabbit hole even more. Do you see what I'm saying? So I think at the surface, it starts with the Andrew Tates, that red pilly type of stuff. And then these people go deep, dark web, if you will, right? Now, this other part, it turns out that they're raised in these red pillish households, hence the same methodology, even with different ideology. Think about this. So let's just say that what you just said, that these radical lefties run amok. It turns out that they were raised in these red pillish households. Think about this. What if they were running left because they didn't like what they were seeing in the hardcore extreme right ideologies? So instead of them going extreme right, they go extreme left to go as far beyond where they once were. That's a possibility, right? That they go so hard in the paint that they go so left that they're finding themselves in a deep, dark rabbit hole as well. Here's the other thing too, if you really think about it, the ones that were, more extreme left that did these unthinkable things, what if they were getting ridiculed for being different on the side of that hardcore right side? So they went straight over to the hardcore left side. And of course, their mental health, what they think, only augmented even more from that moment, from that place. Then, of course, it turned into something where they go and they do some unthinkable thing, right? But I do truly think that there's a lot of similarities. Like I think what you're saying here too, that there are similarities on both sides of the extreme right and the extreme left. I truly think that. I'm not sitting here saying that they're all alike. I'm just saying that there's similarities. Okay. But that is very interesting what you're saying here. That's a conversation that I need to have for sure. Okay. What happened to the sanctity of life? Oh, Holly. Good question. I don't know. Here's the thing. The reason why I think we're learning more and more about these tragedies that are going on, out here in these streets is because the internet is hardcore. I think that there is a love-hate relationship with the internet. Hear me out. I think the internet is awesome. If I didn't have the internet, if internet did not exist, I would not be doing what I'm doing. I love what I do. I freaking love what I do. And I would never have been able to meet any of y'all. I would never be able to meet any of y'all. I would not know your names. You would not know my name. Okay? We would not know each other at all. But there is also a bad side to the internet. And it's so deep. There are so many bad things. I think we are desensitizing ourselves more and more. I think we are desensitizing our children more and more when they get their hands on opening up something on IG or opening up something, getting access to YouTube or TikTok or any of these places where, very, very raw and intense acts of violence are depicted. Yes, I think it's desensitizing our children. But I also see that the people who are faking the funk, acting like that they're millionaires when they're actually thousandaires, trying to act like they're wearing the freshest clothes, they're the influencers, their lives are so perfect and so beautiful that a lot of us idolize and put them up on a pedestal, but also suddenly get hit with depression because we're not on that pedestal too. Hear me out. I think we live in that world where if you're not doing certain things or look a certain way, especially now that internet affects us all, social media affects us all, it becomes now it's become the norm. Like if you really think about it, back in the day, social media was not like that. You walked into high school, things that were trendy in high school was just trendy in that high school. You know what I'm saying? Like, just use an example. Like, and I'm not trying to be accurate here, so just ride with me. But I'm just saying, for an example, like, white sneakers, for example, would be like the thing. Air Force Ones, white Air Force Ones. Okay, everybody is rocking a pair, and if you ain't rocking that pair, you ain't cool. Now, I understand that's idiotic and crazy, and like I said, I've always had a problem with kids, especially in high school, not willing to, express their own individuality, right? Because you walk in and everybody's wearing the same damn clothes. You're like, oh my God, I'm just seeing a variation of the same person, if that makes any sense. But nonetheless, it would only be popular in that school. And it is what it is. As soon as you walk out of that school, you're free. You can do whatever the hell you want. You don't have to worry about looking trendy like that. But because of the internet, what's trendy is all over the place. It's everywhere. What might be trendy in the high school is still trendy when you walk out that classroom. And say you have somebody who lives a different life, doesn't want to wear those clothes, doesn't give a damn about white Air Force Ones. Then they're feeling like an outsider even when they go outside of the high school. Does that make sense? I know that's not the best analogy in the world, but that's the only thing I can think of shooting from the hip here with this particular conversation. So when it comes back to like the sanctity of life, yes, I think that there is no respect or acknowledge or care for life. Kids are becoming more and more cold-blooded than I've ever seen in my whole entire life. We are seeing more and more kids losing their lives due to these mass tragedies. And that also is adding an effect to the kids. It's almost like these kids are contracting some sort of disease. The trauma. They become calloused because they experience something so egregious. If not at firsthand, but by seeing it through the internet. Right? But like I said, without the internet, there would be no independent journalism. There wouldn't be any information. I feel like on certain platforms, you wouldn't be getting the full truth. You'll just be listening to the TV and whatever the TV tells you. But I think that there is something going on that is really jacking these kids up. How do we stop it? I don't know. I don't know. I do not know. Black Skate, thank you so much again. Appreciate you. I think the CK Unaliver is a great example. He rebelled against his right-wing parents, but still used his pew-pew culture upbringing to exact the evil he did. I feel you, though. Just wish people would study this instead of black on black crime. Now, I hear you, Ryan. I hear you on that. 110%. But if you notice, from what I've seen, I think that there's been a lot of kids that have been radicalized or a lot of people, these monsters that we've covered copious amounts of, like I said, all of them have either, like, what's crazy is, like, for example, remember the ICE facility guy? Like, apparently he had no experience, if I'm correct, with the pew pew, but he got his hands on one and then he took aim. So I still think that, yes, you know, with CK's situation, right? Tyler Robinson, oh yeah, he was a hunter. He was well trained. Obviously, there's been all kinds of crazy theories about him being recruited and all that. I don't know about all that. Okay, you know, if you want to go deep, go into the rabbit hole that Candace Owens is going down, by all means, do you, boo boo. Okay, do you. But for me, I side eye the hell out of all of that. All right. It is weird. I'm still questioning everything too. But she going off the deep end now. All right. But this is not like his first time. This was not his first rodeo holding that weapon. There's plenty of photos of him. He was a big time weapon, enthusiast for weapons and all that stuff, right? He learned it from his parents. He learned it from his father. There's other right-wing individuals that have gone in to do mass tragedies where they learn those things from their parents, for sure. Okay? We've seen it a copious amounts of times. It's just that I think we're now in the place where instead of us actually just looking at the problem, we're looking at the political bias of it now. Instead of just looking at it and saying, okay, this is an issue, this is a problem. Doesn't matter if he's red or blue. This is a bad situation where he's gone in and he's done these bad things. And those things need to stop, right? It's frustrating because I think it doesn't matter. The weapon that's being held by the person, that weapon does not care if you're red or blue. The bullets that are discharged from that weapon, whoever they hit, does not matter, does not care if you are red or blue, black or white, old or young. It doesn't matter. And what we need to figure out is stopping those two combinations coming together and doing what they've ended up doing copious amounts of times. 15,000 times too many. Black Skate again. Thank you so much, Pascal. Nelly said, "Give me 2 per." Shout out to Carl in chat for the deep cut. Yeah, absolutely. Per. I need 2 per. Okay. I'm like choking. Excuse me. Yeah, I'm stomping in my Air Force Ones. You know what I mean? But yeah. Beautiful messy ball. Again, thank you. We are all people. Celebrity worship has always been dumb to me. I never got it. I treat all the same until they give me a reason not to. And I think that we all need to do the same thing, right? We all need to proceed in life the exact same way. Okay? Real talk. Like there's just, I don't think we look at the simplicity in life anymore, the simple, beautiful things in life anymore. Now everything has to be this grandiose thing, you know? Everything has to be a Instagrammable photo. Shoot, some people are getting in relationships with other people solely because they just look good on camera. Like, I'm not kidding. That's not a joke, okay? Real talk, that's not a joke. There are people out here that are going out of their way to be like, well, we look good. We look good together. Look at all these likes that we got. Wow. That because y'all look good together? Say what? Okay. What? Okay. All right, then. That's how it goes. It's sad. But we live in a very superficial world. Okay? More superficial than it ever was. Okay? This isn't, it's just insane. So again, you know, we need to find better ways to express our feelings. And for those who can't find ways to express their feelings, needs to find a better way or some way to speak to somebody. And I have to emphasize this. It is okay to speak to somebody. It does not mean that you're crazy. It doesn't mean that you got super big problems or anything of that sort. It is okay to talk out your problems. with somebody professional. It should not be shunned upon. It should be embraced and applauded. That's what we need. But when it comes to these kids that clearly are not right in their minds, and there's a treasure trove of information and evidence leading to them not being okay, all parents have the responsibility to protect the children as best as we can. You can't just be out here just being like, oh, he gonna grow out of it. No, he won't. Okay? Like I said, you ignoring it is not even putting a Band-Aid on a bullet wound. You're just letting that bullet wound leak out, and that's it. And then it starts to fester. It gets infected, and then things go bad because you didn't tend to that problem. We all have a responsibility for our loved ones to take care of them and to make sure that they are all good people. Because let's be real, all we want is, of course, healthy children, but we also don't want our kids to be buttholes. Am I wrong or am I right? We want that person to get along in society. We want that person to be a good person. That's all we want. Please, I don't care about anything else. Just please, just keep him healthy. And please don't make him be an a-hole. Please. That's what we all want, right? Real talk. That's what we all want. Misty, real quick. We as a society must find ways to handle our issues in nonviolent ways and find nonviolent solutions. Yes, 110%. That is a problem too. You know what I think is interesting too, because a lot of these assailants are men. So I got to say these things out loud, and I know some people be like, I don't care. You ain't. Why you what you saying is wrong. I don't agree with you, man. Okay, and for that I'm gone. Bye. But here's the thing. I've said this a million times before. I just haven't said this in a while. Okay. Yes, Harriet, I agree. Monitor your kids on the internet. Monitor your kids on the internet. Monitor your kids on the internet. But here's the other thing, too. This is the thing that drives me nuts, and it angers me because I've said this before, and I'm going to say it again now. I haven't said it in a long time, but we do not have mentors anymore. Yeah, I said it. We don't have inspirational mentors anymore. Where are they? We don't live in that world anymore. Okay, and I'm going to say something, and I already know some of y'all going to be in your fifis about this, but I don't give a damn anymore because there's a lot going on in these government political streets, which is bad. And outside, I mean, it kind of revolves around the political streets, okay? But we don't really have inspirational leadership out there. We really don't. And I think that, okay. I'm trying to find the right words. So this might come out like birdshot, okay? I might be all over the place when I say this because this is not rehearsed. Obviously, I'm just talking about this. But we really don't, like I'm saying, no, I get it. Thank God if you have a mentor, hold tight to them, okay? Cherish them, love them, take them out to a really nice steak dinner, okay? Just do the right thing. Show them love. Show them the love and respect that you have for them before they're gone. But what I mean by that, what I mean by mentors is I'm saying like those national names that are out there that really inspire the masses. Yes, we have our own individual people that we hold dear in our hearts. And yes, you should all have one, at least. If you have one, you're lucky. Because a lot of them out there don't. But we don't have anybody that's out there leading by example. We don't have anybody out there that's saying, hey, we must go this path and we must go here. Everything is so, like I said, everything is so biased, so politically heavy that all I see are people bullying each other. Really, think about this. Hold on. Because even now I'm seeing people on the left starting to do, that same MO, that same approach. No one's really taking the high road. And what I see is it being a bad example to the Utes. Yes, my cousin Vinny, the two Utes. Okay, we're seeing the Utes taking this and saying, oh, so the only way I could be dope or incredible or strong or masculine or, or feminine, whatever you want to be, okay, I must be a butthole. That's how I got to be a jerk about things. I have to express my feelings by belittling and talking down to this person like they're nothing. That's how you win in this game, right? Ain't that interesting? Have you not noticed that? We're even seeing, okay, now, like I said, I'm going to say something that's not going to make people very happy. But we even see this with Trump, too. I know people are going to be mad. Oh, my God, but it's true. So true. We're looking at the things and what we're hearing from our own president right now. The loser left. The damn demis. They're crooks, blah, blah, blah. Whole group of people behind him laughing as he's roasting other political elected officials while he's on the podium. Sorry. But this is the new MO. It's been the MO. Then it died out for a few years and then it came back. And now it's the whole thing of like, I'm going to tell you how wrong you are by being condescending and just telling you are nothing. Mm-hmm. But you're not even backing any of what you're saying with facts. You're just roasting a person. Right? Yes, now it's the radical left. It's the loser left. It's all these other things too. But don't get me wrong. Hold on. Time out before you go, I'm not watching this show anymore. Hold on. We're also hearing it from the left as well. They're going after the right as well in the same fashion. Look at what Gavin Newsom's doing, which, don't get me wrong, somebody on the left has to do something, right? We're even seeing AOC do the same thing. She's now roasting Stephen Miller, okay? Stephen Miller, ain't he something? But moving on, right? Even she's going that route. I'm like, wow. Wow, that's crazy. That's crazy. That's crazy. But that's the thing. We live in a world where it's all about attack. There is no inspiration. There is no feeling of hope. There really isn't. There is no inspiration, guys. There are no mentors out there that say, hey, let's take the high road. Let's be better than this. Don't stoop to the level. Rise up. We don't have that. It's unfortunate, but we don't. And what I'm seeing within these men that are out here doing this, because it's a majority men that have done this, these mass tragedies, stuff like this, okay? Yes, we still have crazy stories about women doing crazy things to high school students. There's so many of those stories coming out. I'm like, oh my God, that's insane, okay? But I feel like we're in this world where it's like, instead of expressing your feelings in a cohesive, verbal, calm manner, the only way that they can get the conversation, Or the only way that they can express themselves is by going and running and getting a pew pew and then doing what they do. Have you not noticed that? Like I said, we live in a time where things are extremely divided, which we all agree on. But everyone has their nose in the air. And instead of going forward and trying to be as diplomatic but factual as possible and having a real conversation and listening to each other, I mean, really listen to each other rather than trying to come up with the best rebuttal before that person finishes their point. I mean, really soaking in what the other side has to say. We don't live in that world anymore. It's like we're all in this crazy, weird, toxic marriage where we're too busy trying to come up with our best rebuttal, our best quip back, right? Our best zinger back to the other side. Have you not noticed that, or am I the only one that's seen that and that's known that, noticed that? And so now it feels like instead of, the clap back. Thank you, Rose City. Thank you. The clap back. Then instead, we're too busy clapping back than actually listening and going, you know what? That's a good point. I don't entirely agree with that in 110%, but I see your point there. And in fact, that might change the way I think about things. I know I say that kind of stuff all the time, like a broken record, but that is true. Instead, now it's like, well, she made fun of me, so I'm just going to go and get in my car and run them down. Or, I'm getting kids are just making fun of me in school for being different, but I'm not going to talk to my parents about it or even, give this information to the school to let them know what's going on. No, I'm going to get my dad's rifle and I'm going to walk in there and I'm going to do God knows what. Okay? So again, I see this happening in so many ways on both sides of the fence, political fence. It's absolutely appalling because we do not have any type of leadership right now, okay, that shows us, hey, let's talk. Let's actually have a talk. Sure, you don't agree with me, I don't agree with you, but let's talk. Not scream at each other and just spout out rhetoric, okay, from the echo chambers from whence we have been lurking from, okay, where we have, emerged from the shadows from. Let's actually have a conversation. It's just human beings. You think one way, you're on the red, okay, they're on the blue. Let's talk. Not, okay, fight. Like it shouldn't be like that. It shouldn't be like that. But unfortunately, it's all combative. And now look at what we're seeing in these streets. Now what we're seeing in these unalivings, in these mass tragedies that we're constantly seeing on the daily now. Because people don't know how to express themselves. They can't compute in their minds how to put whatever's going on in their mind out of their mouths. They write a letter, they go buy a weapon, and then they go into the local mall and do God knows what. We need more leadership out here to show us otherwise. We need more leadership out here to show us that we can actually have a good conversation with somebody on the other side of the fence and still, political fence, and still be able to crack a beer or break bread with them with a smile on our faces and realize that, hey, this is his opinion, this is my opinion. Leave respect on the table, but there is no respect. And that respect trickles down. It trickles all the way down to the sanctity, as Hollis just said earlier, of life. The respect and care for another person's livelihood is completely thrown out of the window because everyone has to be, I'm right, you're wrong. No, I will have the last word. And that's exactly what these guys are doing. And they're learning it from somewhere. They're learning it from somewhere. And there are leaders out here that are leading that. Leading by example in the most negative and terrible way. And I'm not sitting here saying all, but I have yet to see any leaders out here as of late that are progressing and pushing forward a theme and an energy or a vibration of unity or a conversation and a willingness to listen and bringing peace, hope, and inspiration to the masses. We don't have that, guys. We don't. All right. We don't have the Martin Luther King Juniors. We don't have anything. We don't. Everything is blame everyone else that's not on my side. And this is happening on both sides, guys. Let me just say that. Because once that guy, for example, that Mormon church monster found out that he was right wing, what happened? The world lost their minds. The left was like, oh, see, he's left, or he's right. I told you, right? The right's like, no, that's AI. Somebody changed his shirt. Nah, he was right. He was right wing, period. But it shouldn't matter. What matters is this was a monster who just didn't give a damn. He just walked into that church and did very bad things. That's what should matter. But we look at the surface of things. What happened to bringing people together and realizing that we all want the same things on this planet? We want to have a good life. We want to make good money. We want to eat a good steak every once in a while. We want some good sex, and we want to have our kids grow. And so that we can perish and they can proceed to push our seed, our legacy forward, and for them not to be buttholes. That's it. It's very simple, guys. It's very, very simple. But we forget that. We forget that. It's frustrating. We forget that. But here's the thing. Who's out there reminding us this? Is there anyone out there reminding us of this? I don't think so. Nicole just said, you on YouTube. Shoot. I'm just little old me, like there's plenty of people that either play football or, had a past, being an athlete or something crazy like that, or a politician out here that's already out in front of the masses that could easily do that job. They could literally, pun intended, pick up the ball, okay, and take this and do it, right? But there isn't anybody doing that. Everyone's about salacious videos, you know what I mean? And talking about this crazy, talking crazy about, if he's blue, I don't rock with him. If he's red, I don't rock with him either, type thing. It's sad, but I don't know. Okay. Cricket Day, I appreciate you saying that. You're all better than them. Well, I appreciate that. But like I said, there really is a need for that kind of person. Are we going to find that person? I don't know. But we need this very, very bad. Okay? But yeah, we do need to rise above. How do we do that? By having conversations, by continuing to have conversations. That's all I can think of, right? But if you notice, there's not a lot of people, like I said, that are willing to go and be out there speaking, right? And talking about bringing people together. And I think this is also a very, very different time. This is a very difficult time because if you were to be brought in by the likes of Trump, okay, then you're going to be looked at a certain way. Like I said, everything's polarizing. Everything's polarizing right now. If you're brought in and you're speaking on behalf in front of a MAGA crowd, instantly people think you're MAGA. If you go and you speak in front of a crowd full of left, then it's, oh yeah, he's a leftist. It's unfortunate, right? It's an unfortunate situation. But again, we're going to have to see what happens, right? We're going to have to see what happens. But there are no people out here that I've seen as of late that are doing what needs to be done. S-Dubs, thank you so much. You're always so spot on. Thank you. I appreciate it. Unity is vital. Also hit the like. Yes, please make sure you hit the like before the show is over. Yes, unity is most definitely vital, especially during these trying times, because we are living in some messed up times. Okay. So we'll see. Like I said, we'll see. We need more of it for sure. But we also need more of people willing to just laugh in general. I think everything is so damn serious. If someone wants to poke fun at Trump, poke fun at Trump and just laugh. Just let it be what it is. If they poke fun at somebody else on the left, just laugh. Let it be what it is. Like I said, things don't have to be so damn serious all the time. And we are just, that's the thing. I think everybody's so wound up. We're all of us are going to have heart attacks at the same damn time. Maybe that will be the, we're supposed to get sucked up from, I forgot the word, but you know what I mean. All right. That was supposed to happen like a couple weeks ago. Remember? I'm just forgetting the name of the thing. I don't know why. The rapture. Thank you. Yes, Misty. Thank you. Maybe that's the rapture. We're all just going to have heart attacks at the same time because our buttholes we're just so freaking wound up so damn tight, right? That just boom, we just all drop dead. You know what I mean? It's just crazy. But guys, anyway, that is the show. I appreciate all y'all for being here. It really means a lot. Thank you so much for tuning in. Of course, we got a lot more to talk about, so just be on the lookout. We have some conversations to talk about. All right. Yeah, we got a lot to talk about. So please do me a favor before you head out. Hit that like button down below. Crush it. Do what it do. Hit that reaction button. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button here on my YouTube channel. Make sure you follow here on the TikTok. All right. I got some videos coming to you guys very, very soon, so be on the lookout for them. Hit that join button down below. Don't forget to hit the like button down below as well. But hit that join button down below. Become a member. Check out my Patreon. Sorry, and of course check out PascalMerch.com. But anyway, guys, I'll be talking to you guys very, very soon. I'm sure there's something going to be popping off here in a little bit, so be on the lookout. We have some conversations to have. All right, stay safe out there, and we'll talk soon. Be good to yourselves. Be good to one another. This is the Pascal Show. Bye.